Okay. So let's get started with Zap. And, the first thing I'd like to do with you guys this evening is I'd like to just take you through what Zap looks like. What does the customer see? What's the website like? Many of our agents, excuse me, have started to use Zap as their primary website. So just to give you guys a quick background on what Zap is Zip Realty's old product. For those who aren't aware who Zip Realty is, Zip Realty was basically, they were the kings of the internet for a while. They built the best website in real estate. They launched in 2006. They actually beat out Realtor.com several times because their website was so user-friendly. And then in 2015, Realogy, our parent company, purchased Zip Realty for $166 million for the sole purpose of their software. So we've been running Zap for about 3 years now. And I would say it was a great product 2 years before this past year. But over the last 12 months, Zap has become a product that everybody should be using. And you're going to see why tonight. I mean, this website can basically run your business from the front end of your website to the back end of your website, but also your full CRM. So let's start just by jumping right in and seeing what your website looks like. So if you have a website right now with, let's say, an RLS 2000 or, Real Geeks or anything like that, you're probably paying for it, number one. Number two, it's not going to have the functionality and the tools that Zap has. So we're going to take you through some of the tools. But with this here, what I want you guys to know is Zap has been developed by a separate networking team, software development team that has basically worked hand in hand with Google to not only understand how to build this stuff and drive traffic to it, but what does the consumer want? And I think that's one of the biggest things that Zap has done is it's been developed to hit everything that is important to a consumer. So let's take you through the website. So first up top here, one of the newest features is you can now create custom links or custom pages. So let's say you want to write a page on your market territory. Maybe you work in, let's just say, Saugus, Mass. You want to write up a page on Saugus, Mass because you want your customers to go there and find that. Maybe you do something like support the troops or things like that. You want a special page. You want to build a page on a development that you're working on. Whatever it may be, you can build custom pages right through this site now. So you can see here, if I click on Networking Night, I built a custom page just for our networking night. It's boring. It's crappy. I just did it for training purposes. But you can build out custom pages however you see fit. This background image here with the houses in the water is replaceable. So you can customize this with your own logo, maybe have a nice picture of a really nice home you've sold, things like that. But you can customize this or you can leave it. You'll notice in the middle, it's all about searching listings. 99% of consumers who come to your website, all they want to do is search properties. They don't care about your bio, how long you've been in real estate. They don't want to see pictures of you with your family and your dog. No offense. They're coming here to search real estate. But there is a piece of your business that will come here to learn other things. So let's go through. Right here, you'll have your intro to your website. This should just be a quick intro, short and sweet. You're going to put your biography down below, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Testimonials. To me, one of the most important things that you can have on your website is testimonials. The biggest thing that consumers look at now, you think of everything we use now. Amazon, I'm going to show you some stuff on there in a second. We all go on Amazon. We all read the reviews, whether we're buying a $5 product or a $500 product. You're going out to dinner. You go on, Grubhub, or you go on these different apps that Yelp, tell us what's good and what's bad. We can go and read about hotels. Everything we do, we read reviews on, including hiring someone to sell their home. Your experience, your credentials, and your community involvement. This will all be placed in bullet format. I'll show you how to do this when we go on the back end. But I'm sure many of you out there tonight have Amazon Prime. I'm sure almost all of you have bought something on Amazon. That's my guilty Pleasure. I love Amazon. I got yelled at yesterday because my wife got charged for another year of Amazon Prime, but I love it. You know, everything comes to you. But we
Drunk
buy everything
charges?
online. What was that?
Was that drunk charges you said?
No, not at all. Not
That's
at
what I
all.
thought you said. I was thinking, uh-oh.
And this is my water jug. I'm not drinking wine, watching.
No, I meant when you're on Amazon.
Okay. So nope. There was sober buying. But when you go to look at a product, about 2 years ago, Amazon actually changed the way you view their products. First, when you read a product description, it's all bullet point now. You'll find yourself reading every single one of these bullets. But when they had it in paragraph format, people only read about 30% of the paragraph. Yet now they're probably reading 80 to 90% of the bullet points. You also scroll down and we find the reviews. This has got 73% 5 stars. I'm probably going to buy it if I like the product. But we read reviews on this stuff. So your website has been built for the way consumers shop in today's day and age. Local insights. You can have insights based on areas that you work in. You know, Waltham, Mass, great place to live. You write a little review. It's a great social media post. You'll have resources, which are just links to your outside vendors. So if I click on Newfed Insurance, it takes me to their website. But it's a nice way to promote your mortgage guys or your insurance companies or anything like that on your website. Go mobile. You will have your own mobile app. So we're going to pull that up in just 1 second. You'll have your social media, YouTube videos. You can have a YouTube video on here, your blog, and regions I cover. So real quickly, I'm just going to share my cell phone with you.
I want to make sure my mic's not on.
So now you guys should see my cell phone. And I want to show you the Century 21 mobile app. So now I'll show you how to send this to your customers in just a couple of minutes. But this is an actual mobile app. When you send your customers the link for your mobile app, it's going to automatically direct them to their app store, whether they have an Apple or an Android. So they'll see here, you'll be branded at the top. It's all about you. They'll see their recent searches, but we'll just do a quick search. Every property in MLS is pulled into the system, and it's updated every 2 hours. Talk about that more in a second. But you can see here, I can see open houses, new listings. I can scroll through everything. And then when I click on a listing, I'll get all the details. Now I'm going to show you all this stuff on our website. I'll show you through the web version. But look at all the data on one clean page that you're giving them. And this is all on your app. So you can see this customer's getting everything. And what follows them down the whole bottom of the screen, request a showing. So you guys, I'm sure, have looked at, you know, Zillows and Realtors and all these guys' other apps. This app is very similar to all those apps that are out there. And you have it just for your business. So let's do a search on our website and dive into what a details page looks like a little bit more. I'm going to go to something that's a little older. So we'll look at this one here. So I click on the listing. You'll see you're branded right over on the right-hand side of the screen. All the basic info is at the top of the screen. Request a showing buttons. They can share it if they want to Facebook, Google+, or email it. Multiple photos. All pulled from MLS, and we also pull in virtual tours. So every listing that has a virtual tour through any of our MLSs, that's pulled right into your website as well. Go to see this home, request more info, save it. Now Now what we'll see here, I want to show you guys this first. Last check for updates, 49 minutes ago. So where do most people end up now, guys? Zillow, right? All your customers are going to Zillow. Everybody heard about Zillow. Everybody loves Zillow. Zillow is garbage. Zillow is a website that when a customer does a search, and this is a statistic actually published by somebody, that when someone does a search on Zillow, the average results, 18% of those average results are either under agreement or closed. So what's happening, your customers are going to Zillow, they're looking at listings, they're calling you, hey, I want to go see this listing, and you have to be the bearer of bad news that it closed 3 months ago. Well, now they don't understand that it was a listing that an agent put on, took off the same day, it was a pocket listing. They don't know what that means. So your customers get mad that you didn't introduce them to the property. Your website is updated every 2 hours directly from MLS. So if someone changes photos, it's updated. If they add an open house, it's updated. Whatever they do, price reductions, it's all updated in 2 hours. So your website is updated more real time than most of the big websites out there. They'll see homes similar to the home they're looking at currently. They can make their own notes. And I'll scroll back up real quick. One of the newest features they added that I skipped over here is what they call the walk score. So this walk score is a 63. So I'm going to click on walk score and show you guys what that is. So we see that this is somewhat walkable. Some errands can be accomplished on foot, good transit. But what I can see is I can see all the local restaurants, the local grocery stores, the schools, shopping centers, churches. Where is everything in vicinity to the house that I'm actually looking at right now? I can see about this location, tells me a little bit about the neighborhood. But this is my favorite part that they've added. This is called the travel time map. So I can hover over this here. These are areas that I can walk to within 20 minutes. Bike ride. Take my car within 20 minutes. But what if it's rush hour? I can reduce the search to adjust for rush hour. So if I say I'm thinking about buying this house, but I don't want to commute more than 30 minutes to work, these are the areas that I can commute to with about 30-minute commute time from the home during rush hour traffic. This all pulls right from Google Maps and is updated on a regular basis. So this, to me, is a really cool feature. Good transit, talks about all the bus lines, trains, car sharing apps, everything. So whatever their traveling needs are, it's all right on this site. And they can literally search any address in here.
Would they be able to click on to any of those little icons on the map to blow them up further?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. Cool.
Every detail that's in MLS is pulled into here. So you see every single detail that an agent puts in the MLS system is actually downloaded into your system and given to the customer. So the way you can explain it to them is, listen, you can't get access to the MLS, but if you go on my website, I'm giving you all the data that's in there. And what I recommend, guys, I don't know how many of you go out and do buyer consultations before working with a buyer, but what I recommend is doing that. And when you do that buyer consultation, sit down and show them how to use your website. Sit down and download your mobile app on their phone. If you take them through and show them this stuff, they're buying into your website. Zillow's not coming over their house and showing them how to use Zillow. Realtor.com's not coming by and showing them that. Redfin's not doing that. These guys aren't showing them. So if you show them how to use your website, you're going to keep them on your site. And what's going to happen is they're going to actually start to talk about it to their friends and family. We pull in the Zestimates. Why do people go to Zillow? For the stupid Zestimates. Are they accurate? No. But does everybody look at them?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you can't beat them, join them. We're not giving them a reason to leave your website. We got a message in the chat. And what is the website address we give to our clients? I will get that for you. I'm going to show you where that is in just a few minutes. I don't know. I think that's Paula. I think that's Paula. It's got an email in there. But Paula, I'm actually going to show you that on the back end in just a couple minutes. And guys, feel free to type into the chat box as well, and I check that periodically. Or feel free to just take yourself off of mute or keep yourself off of mute and just ask questions. Price history. I see this home sold in 2004 for $340,000. School district info. I can click on the school and get more details. Recently sold homes. I can click on and see more about that home. Public record and a mortgage calculator. But the big key for your customer is this is all on one clean, easy to use page.
And this is still the mobile version, correct?
This is the desktop version, so this is what they would look at on their computer. But I will tell you, I don't know on real estate apps, but I can tell you that Facebook, for example, 91% of their users are using a mobile app or an iPad versus the desktop computer.
Didn't even come back yet?
9% of Facebook's traffic comes from desktop computers. Any questions, guys? Okay, so let's dive into the back end of Zap. So real briefly, to get into the back end, you're going to go to new.
It's not muted. Wait.
You're not muted. You can talk. Feel free. All right. So guys, we want to go to new.myzap.com. So it's new.myzap.com. When you get to that page, you're going to use your 21 online username and password. Your username would be your name, Rob. For example, mine, Robert.D'Amico at century21.com would be your login, and your password you should have received. If not, you can reach out to Ashley, and she can help you with that. So once you log in, before we dive into the dashboard, let's just talk right about setting up your website, and then we'll go through the whole dashboard. So when you log in, the first thing you want to do is you want to set up your website. So if you go to the top right-hand corner here where you'll see your name and your photo, you click that, and you're going to click on My Website. So let's go through setting up your website. So like I mentioned, you can change your cover photo. Right here, simply by clicking Change Photo. If your agent photo isn't in there, let us know. Shoot an email to Ashley, and she will take care of that upload immediately. You can click View My Website just to see your actual website. What's it look like? Now let's stop here for a minute. So you're going to have two URLs. So this is the answer to your question, Paula. These are your website addresses. So if you notice, they're pretty long. So if I walk into Stop and Shop and run into a friend who's thinking about buying a house and ask for my website, the chances of him remembering homesforsale.century21.com/agent/Robert.D'Amico@century21.com is probably slim to none, because I can't even remember that, and I see it like twice a week on doing these trainings. So what you would do is you would simply go to GoDaddy or whoever you have domains through, and you would buy a domain that worked for you. Could be your name, could be the region you cover, could be something including realtor or agent or whatever you wanted. You build your domain. The only suggestion I'll give you right now on a domain, make it something that when you talk about it, it's not too long. It's something that you can remember, and it's something that a customer will remember. So, it's important to get something that, carries those features, because you don't want to get a domain that nobody's going to be able to remember. Once you get that domain, put it on everything. Put it on your email signatures. Put it on all social media. Put it on your, marketing materials. Everything you do, get your website out there. Advertise it on Facebook. That's driving organic traffic for leads that you don't have to pay for. You're generating your own leads. What you'll also have is your mobile app URL. So your mobile app URL is what you would send customers for the ability to download your app on their cell phone. So there is a section when we go to the contacts where you can actually email it to them. And like most people, they probably open their emails on the cell phone most of the time. But what you can also do, and this is what I recommend, is save this in the notes on your phone. So every time you have a new customer, instead of emailing it to them, you text it to them. Because you know 100% of text messages are going to be opened on their cell phone. And now when they click that link, they're automatically driven to the App Store to download your app. So even if you send it to your whole database and 20% download it, 20% of these people are using your app now. But as you get a new buyer, someone asks you a question, hey, check out my app. Here's the link. Save this in your phone. You do not have to buy a specialized domain for this because you're going to simply be emailing it or texting it to them, and they're going to click it. So the only domain you have to buy is to drive traffic to your website like this. So you see my URL here. What you would do is when you buy the domain name, let's call it robdemico.com, I go into GoDaddy, and there's a simple button in there that says domain forward. Just like an email forward, I forward my domain name to this URL. And when I forward it to that, it's automatically going to say, when I go to robdemico.com, nope, don't stay here, go to this one. And it sends them to this URL right here. Any questions on that? And guys, feel free when you buy your domain names. I probably do 4 or 5 of these logins a week now. I don't mind logging in. All you got to do is send me a GoDaddy account. I've got everything else. Send me the username and password for GoDaddy, and I'll get to it within that day. It takes me literally 2 minutes. So if it's something you struggle with, I'll log in and just pop that in for you.
Yay! How much, by the way, for
Free.
the domain? Not your
domain.
services.
I thought you meant my service.
Oh,
Domains run you anywhere from, if they're running a special, it could be anywhere from $7.99 to typically, I think their domains run about $11.99 a year.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
They're going to try to sell you guys everything when you buy a domain. Don't buy anything. All you need is a domain name. It could be $7 to $12 typically. I recommend don't do longer than a 2-year period. Just put in an auto renew. And if you don't like the domain or you change your domain or you change the way you're doing your business, you don't have to keep it. So, I recommend, I see people buy domains. They say, I bought it for 10 years. Only cost me $300. Well, that person's out of the business in a year and a half and, they didn't need a domain for that long. So not saying any of you getting out of the business per se, but if you change your marketing efforts, maybe you change the way you're branding yourself, maybe you start a team, don't lock yourself down with it. It's not worth it. So that's a little bit on the domain names. So let's continue scrolling down and take a look about setting up your website. So let's start with the first section, which here is just a brief intro. So they call it the About Me. Like I said, this should just be a personal, quick statement. Welcome to my website. I've been in the real estate business for over 20 years, and my experience will be here to help you buy and sell your next home. Quick. Welcome them. If you type a little bit too much, you'll notice you get a little arrow here to expand the text and read the rest of the paragraph. To me, if you have to hit that button, you've talked too much. We're not going to go through this too much right now, guys, but I'll show you here. Buy a home, sell a home, and custom pages. I'll actually be launching a advanced Zap class starting next month. Where we'll go more into this. But the goal today, we're going to give you a lot of stuff to do. So my experiences when I start to go through this stuff in today's session, I confuse the crap out of you even more. So I'm going to do my best not to confuse the crap out of you today. So we're going to stick with just the basic stuff. But real briefly, you can create custom buy a home pages, sell a home pages, and you can also create the custom pages like I showed you. When you go into that, it's pretty simple. It's like using Microsoft Word. You can insert links, you can insert images. Pretty straightforward. But like I said, we'll cover that more in our advanced Zap class, which is launching next month. So in the meantime, you do have buy a home and sell a home pages already created. If I go up top here real quick, you'll see buy and sell. So if I click on those, they've actually got some nice pages already built for you there. So you really don't have to build those out right off the bat. As we continue to scroll down, you will see YouTube videos. So you can upload YouTube videos on here. Maybe you want to post a Century 21 corporate commercial. Maybe you do a YouTube video for one of your properties you want to feature on your website. All you need to do is go to YouTube, find the video you want to use and click on it, and then you simply copy and paste the URL at the top of that page and paste it into here. Make sense, guys? Any questions on that? No questions. We got a lot of you guys on tonight, and it's pretty quiet out there. But we'll keep moving along.
Woo,
Sorry,
party!
Natalie, I have a quick question.
Yes.
If you wanted to remove a video, how would you do that?
That you would do by...
Good question.
That's a good question. What I would do
I
is
don't know.
probably...
Maybe you accidentally did the wrong video. I don't know. I'm just thinking ahead.
You know, all I'd recommend, all I've ever done, you know, and that's a good question. I'll look into that for you. That's because I haven't thought of that. But all I did was I would just change my video up and put another video there.
Okay, so it's only one video at a time?
Correct.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, it's only one video at a time. But that's a good question. I'm going to look into that.
Okay, thank you.
So the next section is social media. So, ooh, they've added Instagram. So they just added these. Now they have Instagram on here and Pinterest. This is brand new. That wasn't there yesterday. So that's awesome. So social media is your biggest marketing tool with this program. But people going online, you know, you have to realize that, you know, and I want to talk about this for a minute, is when people go online to find you, they're looking at everything you do. So let's say someone refers a customer to me and they say, listen, you got to go with Rob to sell your house. He's the best in the business. Well, they can take the word of my friend, but they're probably still going to go online and do something we all do on a regular basis. They're going to Google me. They're going to look for me on Google and read about me. And they're going to make sure I don't have any bad reviews, any bad backstories, no police criminal charges come up. You know, those are all gone. So, you know, so they're going to look around. So you want to make sure that when people come to yourself that they can find you on social media right here. So you'd simply come in. I know most of you guys out there probably have social media accounts. It's very easy to set up. So I'm going to click on Facebook's icon here. You're going to see it pops up Facebook's login screen. If you have multiple pages, you can select whether you advertise your business page or your personal page. I do my personal page. I hit done. I'm linked. That's it. So they actually just added Instagram. I'll have to paste my profile afterwards. But I recommend Instagram. Instagram is becoming a much stronger app than I ever expected it to be. We've been doing a lot on Instagram the last few months, and the results have been unbelievable. Branding. It's branding. You know, back in the day it was print advertising. It is now social media. For those who have been in the business and experienced print advertising is now social media, because print advertising mainly sold 1% of the homes it had in the paper. But what print advertising did is it made the phones ring. It brought traffic to you. It created an image of your brand. That's what social media does now. And the best part is print media used to cost us millions. Social media cost you nothing. So Instagram, I've actually talked to, not that I'm old, but I'm starting to feel old when I talk to younger generations who are starting to buy homes, 24, 25, 26-year-olds who are starting to get into the market. They don't use Facebook. I guess Facebook's for older people now, I guess. They use Instagram. So Instagram is becoming a tool that's getting stronger and stronger by the minute. So at least get involved and just do a little posting. It doesn't have to be all the time, but the more you do, the more you'll generate. But you're going to see a lot through your website, and that's what we'll talk about in the advanced app class, is how to market all of this stuff on social media. Any questions? Then we'll move along. So the next area is areas served. So I just edited it one time to regions I cover. You can change what it covers here. So we'll just change it back to, we'll just change it back to areas served. So it looks more normal. You can have up to 21 areas served. So I can come in here and simply type Greenwich, Mass, and it's added. Wyndham, Maine, it's added. And to delete one, you simply hover over it, hit the X. You can also move them around. So if I want to say Nashua is my primary market, I slide that to the beginning. And I can interchange them all and line it up however I want. And those display right here. We're going to skip over this Agent Insight section for now, guys. I'm going to show you how to do it. We're going to do it up here in a few minutes. So we're going to skip over this section for now. Next is Local SEO Playbook. We got a couple questions. I'm going to take a look at the chat. Can this training be replayed later? Yes, I am actually recording tonight's session, and I will be uploading it tomorrow to our training website, and I will email that out to everybody. So yes, it is being recorded. And we got a question from Phil. I'm having a hard time putting the cities I hit, add a city, and nothing happens. So Phil, when you go into the add a city section, scroll back up. When you go in there, you should be able to just start typing, and it should pull up a screen where you can see it. One suggestion I have is, I'm not sure what internet browser you're using, but I recommend to everybody, when using Zap, use Google Chrome. It is the best system for Zap. I'm not a Google Chrome fan, but it is good for Zap. It's much better. So if you're having trouble, give it a try in Google Chrome. Any other questions? I think we're good. Okay. We're going to move along. If anyone has any other questions, shout out or type it in the chat, and I'll keep an eye on both. We're going to scroll back down. So back to this Local SEO Playbook. Guys, this is just a simple checklist of ways to build your search engine optimization. Because the more places, for example, you have your link out there. So if I go to my profile in Facebook, I'm going to go to Edit Profile. We'll scroll down. And edit your About info.
It says mute.
And somewhere in here.
Now your microphone's on.
Huh.
Oh, details about you, right here. So, contact and basic info, right here. So this is where you can add your website. So if you come into contact and basic info under About, paste your website in here. Add your other social media. Add your Instagram account. Add your Twitters. Add whatever other social media you use. But put it everywhere else, because the more that you are out there, what happens, guys, the more links you have out there and the more places that people can find your name. And when I say people, I mean Google. Because the more places Google can find you, the more people will find you. So if I type in Rob D'Amico, I'm over there.
I have my property being shown at 7:30.
My LinkedIn profile shows up number 3. My Zillow profile shows up number 4. Look at that. There's a video. So, you know, my profile for Facebook. So my stuff's coming up a little bit higher because I've started putting these links out there and generating more traffic to me. So it's things like that that can help drive more traffic to your site organically when people search it. Next is resources. Resources is going to be the links I showed you on the front of the page that just drive traffic to your vendors. So I could click New Fed Insurance, New Fed Mortgage, Movement, New England Closing Company, whoever. All you need to do is right here, you hit add a name. So I can type in, let's just say New Fed Mortgage. Type in www.newfed.com. Select lending. They have different categories: lending, escrow, insurance, inspection, title, and other. I would always add to my navigation. Helps me find more. And I hit save. And that would just create a quick link down the bottom. So it's a nice way to say to your loan officer, hey, I put you on my website. Now when people go there, they'll see you down the bottom. Why don't you do the same for me? All right, next is reviews. So good news on the review front. Everybody you guys all have Real Satisfied. So if you have Real Satisfied surveys, they are automatically posting to your Zap website now. So what you want to do is, all you need to do, check off the button, display testimonials that are managed in Zap. That's it. Every time you approve a Real Satisfied survey now, it will automatically go on your website. It'll also put the star ratings. Phil, I see your message. Yes, yours is all set. So we'll actually just show you. We'll give you a look at Phil. So Phil actually was having trouble with his testimonials. I fixed it for him the other day. So let's just take a look, and I'll show you guys what the testimonials look like on there. So Phil, you see right here, there's all your testimonials. Right on there, already imported. So they'll all automatically post guys right on there.
Where are they importing from?
Real Satisfied surveys.
Okay.
So everybody gets a Real Satisfied survey account. And when you have a closing, you give the administration team the customer's email address. The customer will now get an email from you, the agent, automatically when the deal closes.
Mhm.
As soon as it's closed in the system, they'll get an email. Hey, it was great working with you. Please take 5 minutes to fill out my brief testimonial. They'll fill it out,
Okay.
and you'll get an email back saying, Rob D'Amico filled out a testimonial. You'll then click on the link. It'll take you right into 21 Online, into your Real Satisfied account. You'll get to approve it before it goes public. Once you approve it, it'll then go to your Zap website, and it'll also go to your Facebook, Twitter, and Realtor.com profiles automatically.
Nice.
So like I said, you know, guys, anybody who's not using Real Satisfied survey, get in there and do it. You know, I mean, the surveys are so important to your business now. I don't do anything without reading testimonials pretty much, you know, whether I'm buying a $5 item, a washer and dryer, or a house. I'm reading testimonials on the agent, or I'm reading it on Amazon about the $5 subwoofer I'm buying, whatever it is.
Rob,
Yes.
is there still a way to copy and paste the reviews from Zillow onto the testimonials page?
Yep, absolutely. So if you have any Zillow review, guys, because I know Zillow, Real Satisfied does not feed to Zillow because Zillow doesn't play nice with anybody. So I know a lot of you guys probably have Zillow reviews. So what you can do for the Zillow reviews is you would still have this button checked off, same as you would. But what you do is you click View All Testimonials.
Whoops.
You guys still with me? Can you
Like it
still hear me?
froze.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
You can hear me now?
No, we couldn't. We didn't hear what you were talking about with that cutting and pasting. from
Okay,
Zillow.
no problem. So I'm going to go back one step. So we'll go down. So where we have reviews, where we have reviews, we click View All Testimonials. And all you do is click here to add a new testimonial, and you paste it in and hit Add. Make sense, guys?
Yep.
So it's really simple. You know, what I do is I always just open 2 screens, copy and paste back and forth real quick, take you 5 minutes. And get your reviews, guys. If you get Google reviews, I know some agents use Google reviews, take it from there, copy and paste them in here. Go to Zillow, copy and paste them from there. The more reviews you have on your website, the better you look, and now you start driving people there. You know, imagine getting ready to go on a listing presentation and saying, hey, in the meantime, why don't you go see what other people have thought about me in the past? Go check out my website and read all my reviews. And you send them the link. And they see 30 reviews, 40 reviews. I don't see that on a lot of agents' websites, guys, you know, and it's frustrating because to me, one of the best things you can use in any industry now is reviews. So gain as many reviews. Reach back out to old clients. Hey, would you mind writing a brief testimonial for me? It's a great reason to touch base with them. And if they liked you, I'm sure they will.
Quick question, Rob.
Yes.
So for myself, I'm new to the business, and of course, I don't have any reviews.
Sure.
What would like a personal reference be okay to put up there?
Sure. You know, I've worked, you know,
knows you.
You know, if someone says I've worked with her in the past, you know, she's got great work ethic, things like that. You know, I'd keep it short and sweet. I wouldn't write a huge bio. But yeah, you could have them write a little something about you, you know, personally, professionally. You know, the other thing is you start to go out and let's say, are you working with any buyers or sellers or anybody right now? Renters, anything?
A renter, yes.
Great. Ask the renter to write something about you. How's it been working with you?
Okay.
Just let them know I've been responsive. I've been on top of you. Mind writing something?
Okay.
You know, you can absolutely, the more you can get, the better you look.
Okay,
And
but
it takes time, guys. You know, I mean, it takes time to get to 30, 40, 50 testimonials. I mean, that's, you know, that's a lot of work. But, you know, definitely, you know, start by just asking for testimonials from people that you've just worked with, that you've done a good job. Maybe they didn't find something. Maybe they're still looking. They're pain in the butt. They don't want to make any offers, but you're doing your job. Ask them to write a testimonial. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank
It's
you.
about work ethic, too, to me. It's not just about the closing. It's about the work ethic. Because we work with a ton of clients that never buy a home, but we do a great job, and they're happy. They just back out after a while. Change their mind, things like that. So absolutely. Good question. Any other questions? Okay, keep hitting me with questions, guys. All right, so the next piece down here is your experience, credentials and membership, and community involvement. So like I mentioned, this is the bullet points right on your homepage. So we go in, we see recruiting director, you know, blah, blah, blah. I can move them around, just like I did with the cities. I can delete one just by hitting a little trash bucket over here. You know, we'll remove the man. This is just a template site, guys. I'm not a big ego, big head guy. I just didn't have anything to type. So, and then you could just come to add new, and I can type a new bullet, and I hit save. It adds the bullet. So to answer that, you know, to answer a question that I know is going to come, you know, just like the last one, what do you do if you're brand new? Well, if you're brand new, you've done the real estate school. Maybe you've worked in marketing before. Maybe you've worked in other divisions. You know, Melissa, I know that was you. I know you're a teacher. Believe me, working with students and working with buyers, kind of the same thing. They're very needy. We got to keep them focused on us, you know, so there's a lot of experience there dealing with people person, credentials and memberships. Everybody, when you join a realtor board, which everybody's required to do, you're automatically in 3 organizations right there. National Association of Realtors, Massachusetts Association of Realtors, and then your local board. So I got Greater Boston Association of Realtors on. And then you're a member of MLS. So you got 4 things right away. From the day you start in this business, you already got 4 credentials and memberships. And then community involvement. You know, to me, community involvement is so important. You know, whether it's charity work, donations, giving back to the community, joining something like a Rotary Club or an Elks or a Kiwanis or anything like that. It's networking, guys. It's networking. And, you know, people typically will work with someone in those groups. You know, if you join the Elks, you're going to build relationships there, and they're going to go with you. So, you know, I definitely recommend get involved with some of the community, get involved with a club. It'll help. You know, kind of, you know, if you're a parent, join the PTAs. You know, the PTAs and the school organizations, I know it's probably like, you know, pulling teeth sometimes, you know, very painful. But listen, we do a lot of painful things to generate business, and if it brings me business, I'll deal with it. So, you know, get involved with whatever you can, guys. The last piece down here, we're going to skip over for tonight, but you can actually track your website through Google Analytics. We're going to cover that more in our advanced app class, because if I go through Google Analytics right now, I'm probably going to make your head spin, especially if this is the first time you looked at Zap. So if anybody wants to chat about Google Analytics and you understand what it is and you're like, I want to get this going right away, feel free to call me offline and we can have a chat separately. But I'm not going to confuse most of the crowd, because I will confuse the crap out of you guys. But like I said, we will have that coming up on our advanced class, which I am launching in September. So that is pretty much setting up your website. Does anyone have any questions before we move along on setting up your website? And guys, there's no stupid questions, so feel free. This is brand new, so if you have a question, you're like, oh, it's a stupid question, I want to ask it. Ask it. I'm here for those. They're not stupid questions. It's new to you. So, okay, questions. Go.
I have
questions
a question.
going once. We got a question?
I have one.
Good.
Yes.
Hit me.
In order to get the leads, do I have to set up this website?
You don't have to set up the whole website. It's actually set up for everybody as a basic website from the second you sign on. So no, you don't have to set it up.
So I don't think when I started in April, the end of April, I don't think I saw something like I'm supposed to do something, but
Okay.
didn't. Should I go back to read that and
Yeah,
set it up?
we're basically, what I'm taking you through is what you should be doing to get started. And we're going to take a look at the Zap backend and the management side of it in a minute, and that's where you'll update the leads for Lead Router.
Okay. Hey, I'm not even on Facebook, Twitter. I don't even know what Twitter is. I refuse. 20-something
That's okay. You don't have to. I recommend it, but you don't have to.
I go back to the old days when we had the book. You had to go to the real estate office. And, yeah.
Hey, listen, I may be 36, but I will tell you right now, I wish those days would come back. I remember those days. Business was so much easier. The internet, I get it, but it's there, and it's what we got to use now because the books are gone. I wish they'd come back, but they're not.
No, I don't want that to come back. No.
Oh, we controlled the business with that. That was great.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So there was nowhere to go but us. I like that. I could go back to that in a heartbeat. And even
All right.
I love Waze, but I loved my map book. So
Well,
enough reminiscing. Let's move on, guys.
you asked for a question.
I love them. Keep them coming. So if we're going to click one more time, I just want to take you down to your account settings and just show you guys a couple things in here. So when you click on account settings, you can link your Gmail here. So if I click link Gmail, I could actually open my Gmail and manage it right on my Zap.
Oh, that's good.
Sent emails from, I can choose where I want my email to come from. Email signature, you drop your own email signature in here. Link your MLS. You simply come in, select your MLS. I've already got mine in there, and it'll pop up. You'll just select your name. You can skip by lead zips. This is all managed on the back end and service territories. It's all managed, so nothing to do in there. I think lead and notification settings. So we're also click on lead and notification settings. So this is your contact number and your phone and your email. Lead acceptance. So when a lead comes in, you can choose to get a text message every time you get a lead. Receive leads. That should be checked off. You can put your availability time in here. If you don't want to get leads on Sunday, turn it off.
Question.
Yes.
This is Paula.
Paula?
Leads. This is stuff that we're feeding to ourselves, these leads that you're speaking of? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Yes, it could be leads you're sending to yourself, and we also send our Century21.com and our Zap leads through this system. So we generate a good chunk of leads off of those sites as well.
Okay, so how does someone get, maybe I just need to get more training on that.
Hey, guys.
Hair work there?
Yeah, someone's got a paper shredder. If you just want to mute yourself, if you're going to shred some papers. But yes, you will generate leads through this system, Paula.
Okay, good. And plus through our own work and all that other stuff. Okay.
Exactly. And you want to get leads that you generate as well because, one of the things that I always recommend doing People will click on real estate, share properties, share, under agreement, share that stuff. But then just share your website. Go to your website, copy the URL,
Mhm.
and write a
Mhm.
post. Visit my website.
Ha,
I
That's
paste
a
that
great
link,
idea.
and it makes one
That
of
is
those
a
little
great idea.
previews right here.
Yeah. Great.
Now they link to it.
How are you?
Now they register. That's a new lead.
Mhm.
Sure, honey.
The other thing, you could do the same thing and paste your mobile app URL in here.
Hey.
So now you're pasting your mobile app and they download their mobile app.
No,
Because
listen, I can tell you real quickly
91%
what's
of
going
users-
on, real quick. My son's coming over, he wants a pound and I want to get
Bill.
a pound and a half of haddock, large haddock.
Ah,
Bill, I could go for some haddock too, buddy.
Thank you.
Does he realize you can hear him? That's the question.
Phil, we want haddock too. You got to get enough for the group.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
You got to mute yourself when you're doing that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. This is Dini. I'm pretty much new,
Okay.
and I have missed a lot of the training. The very first training I attended was with Richie, and
Okay.
and I believe that was in Chelsea. It was a long way for me. I live in Brockton, but
So we're doing all that stuff via webinar now. So that's been a while.
right, but I couldn't because my son has surgery in both knees, and I had to be the caretaker
Okay.
of him. And I think today is my first real watching training. So
Okay.
I want to get back on track. But what I want to know is, I remember at the Richie training, like for all the basics, and I forgot how to get back in and to start from basics so I could get a clear understanding.
Okay. So what you want to do is you want to visit our training website, which I'll show you at the end. And Richie's, all of his trainings will be on there. We're loading that up. So we've got those going currently. But we can chat a little bit more about that afterwards.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So back to this here, guys. Any other questions before I move on? Okay. So this will be your default message they get when they get a lead welcome email. I just created an account for you. Blah, blah, blah. I recommend as soon as someone signs up, have the auto lead send it to them. Welcome email. Automatically, they should get that. So now they're getting it. You shouldn't have to do that. Let it auto send to them, because now as soon as they register, they get an email right from you. Makes you look better. And then you select what notifications do you want to receive. New leads, reassign leads, request for info, showing request, listing appointment request, Zap news, contact searching out of area, daily activity email. All this stuff here, guys, my recommendation, go with email and text. You want to get notified of that stuff right away. Unless you're on your email 24/7 and you're never coming off of it, the text message, you want to get back to these leads. I was just having a conference call earlier today. Leads that go beyond 5 minutes for response time, your opportunity to convert that drops 400%, and that's a study done by Harvard. So if you're not replying to these leads within 5 minutes, your opportunity drops 400%. So get these leads and call them right away. Even if you're with a customer, pick up the phone and just call, hey, listen, I would do the same thing for you. Or shoot them a text, whatever. Get to that lead right away. And even if you say, hey, listen, I'm just with a customer, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. I would do the same for you. Especially if it's a listing appointment. People always say, I don't want to be getting picking up my phone in a listing appointment. Oh, geez, hang on. I think that's the best opportunity in a listing appointment. Here's a lead on one of my other properties. Let me just accept it and I'll call them back when we're done. That's an awesome thing in a listing appointment, in my opinion.
I have a quick question, Rob.
Yes.
Where is this? It's under dashboard.
So this is, if you go up to your name, that's
Okay.
under lead and notification settings.
I see. Okay. Sorry, I kind of lost track there.
No problem. All right, we're going to dive into the customer portion and the dashboard portion. Do we have any questions on setting up your website before we move forward?
One quick question.
Go.
My website says that I speak Spanish. I mean, I think it's obvious I speak English too, but can I
Yeah.
put Spanish in English? Like, where would I go to that?
So just email Ashley and have her add it to your languages. Make sure she has English on your website.
Do you think most people have both there, or it's just given that you speak English?
You know, honestly, I think where your website is going to be in English, I think that kind of hits the subject, to be honest with you. So I think when they see your website in English, seeing that statement that hablo español, that is more important to me. That's how my mind would work. So I don't know if you need to say, I speak English, because your website's English.
Right. Okay. I thought so. I just didn't know if I'm
Yeah,
overthinking.
no, I don't think you need to.
Okay.
When you put your website in English, I'm hoping they assume. If they don't assume that, maybe you don't want to work with them.
Right. Okay.
I'm just
Thanks.
teasing. Any other questions, guys?
Quick question. I'm
Yes.
sorry. To get onto Zap, you have to be a realtor, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I have not done any of.
You'll get it, but you need to make sure that you do it within a certain time frame. So if you're a new agent, you will have some time to get registered with the board and go through the orientation. So you will get this the second you sign up with us. But if you become a non-realtor and don't join a realtor board, we will move you to a non-realtor office where you can simply just refer business in. You can't, do any buyers, sellers, anything like that until you join a realtor board.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, guys, before we move along? Okay. So we're taking a look at the home page. And real briefly, before we jump into the home page, I'm going to show you guys the mobile app of this. So the mobile app I'm going to go quick on, and we're going to spend the time. But just like the mobile app for the customer, the mobile app for the agent is probably even better. So like I mentioned, I'm going to be using this as our primary CRM, including my own CRM, because I think this dashboard is amazing. And the app is really what makes it even better. So you guys can see on the screen here now, my cell phone app is open. So just to kind of go through real quick, I'd see requests. So as soon as I get a request, so mine's all, test stuff. But for example, I have a showing request from Andrew. So watch this, guys. This is really cool. So I click on the showing request I got from Andrew. There's the property. I could click on the address and, get all the details on the property. Now I see Andrew. I could call him. I could email him. I could text him, and that would go right through the app. But now, down the bottom, it actually gives me the listing agent's cell phone, email, and text. So now every time I get a showing off of my website, I can actually go right to the listing agent without having to go to MLS or anything like that. It's right in your app. Now if I talk to Andrew and Wendy and we set it up, I hit schedule. Now when I hit schedule, it's got Andrew's name at the top. I select when we're going to go see it. So I say we're going to go see it on Saturday at 6 o'clock. Now I can check off here. Send Andrew a reminder, a confirmation, and a reminder email. I can also scroll down and I can send him a confirmation and reminder text message. When they text back, the text will go to your cell phone. But you are now sending him a text message and an email confirming the appointment. We're set up for Saturday at 6 p.m. to go see blah, 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 blah. Saturday in the morning, he'll get another text message. Just a reminder, you have a showing today with Rob at 6 p.m. at blah, 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 blah. You look better, and it's automatic. Your new leads would show up on here, so you could call your new leads right from the app. Any meetings, if you had a meeting scheduled, you can schedule it through here. I'll show you more about that in a few minutes. But then reminders. So I'm a big database guy. I love database. I think, database, your sphere of influence. should definitely be your number one source of business. So when you work with a sphere of influence, I'm not going to give you the full Buffini spiel now. Save that for another day. But realistically, you need to be in touch with them on a regular basis. The biggest problem we all make is as soon as we hang up the phone with a client or someone who sends us business or just a friend or a family, we don't schedule our next call. So 8 months, 10 months, a year goes by, and I don't talk to that customer or client. They don't think of me. So what I do is I'm in the philosophy of your top 100 people you should be talking to on the phone every 2 months. So as soon as you hang up the call, you set a reminder. Now, every day, all I need to do is to stay in touch with my database. I open up my Zap app, and I call my reminders for the day. I see all my notes from past history with the client. You know, maybe last time I talked to Andrew, he said he was going to Sebago, Maine for the weekend or the month to spend time with his family. He's going, you know, surfing, whatever. I got all those notes. So now I can simply go in the app and say, okay, let's call Andrew. I hit call contact, dials right through my cell phone. I hang up. Did I reach Andrew? Yes or no? And I put in my notes, Andrew is on vacation. And I'd go blah, blah, blah. And then I would hit done and save. I can email them from here. I can text them from here. All of the customer service can be done right on your app. A couple other things real quick on the app. Down the bottom, you have contact. Searches my whole contact database. I know if you have an iPhone, you use Siri, you can actually say to Siri, call Andrew Gene Siracusa in my Zap app, and it'll actually connect with Zap and make the phone call right through Siri. Business, you'll see showing requests, any meetings you have scheduled, reminders, listings, anything you have going on will be right here. And then the last thing is if you guys look up top, there's a little plus sign in the top left-hand corner. When I click that, I can add a new contact, new property insights and local insights. We'll talk more about those in a second. New showings, new listing appointments, buyer consultations, new reminders. All of that can be done right from my app. Question, does this info go directly into Business Builder when entered in Zap? It used to, but that link isn't working now. And to be honest with you, I am moving my position more towards Zap as a database. I think Business Builder is good, but I think with the app and everything that Zap offers, honestly, I think that you're better off getting everything just in Zap and using Business Builder just for marketing purposes. So I hope I answered that question. So, you know, let's just say real quick, you know, new contact. You're in Stop and Shop. You run into somebody. Hey, listen, I'm thinking about buying a house. Get out of here. Oh, let me set you up on my website. You come in here and you just simply hit the plus sign, new contact. Great. I throw in their name, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing my cell phone. You know, what's your email address? They give me your email address. What's your cell phone number? I throw it in. Oh, great. They're a buyer and a seller. I could put their status, where to come from. I can write in some notes. And then right down the bottom, send welcome emails checked off. I hit save. I'm done. So you can add a new contact right on the fly.
Quick question.
Yes.
So I know I just started and realized that Zap was better than Business Builder, and I started with Business Builder but didn't, and I realized that I could do campaigns. But when I started using Zap, I'm not quite sure how to add people to campaigns like you were able to with Business Builder.
Right. So Zap's campaigns, I'm going to show you guys the campaigns in a couple of minutes. Zap campaigns are actually more email oriented.
Okay.
So I stayed with Business Builder because I thought the the graphically designing pieces were actually better. I thought it was better. But actually, think about it yourself. You get emails every day, right? And when you get those branding emails, like we're trying to do here, we're trying to brand ourselves to our database. What do you do when you get those that are all graphically designed? You delete them because it looks What Zap does is you create email campaigns that are actual email content. Hey, Rob, just checking in to see how things are going. People are more likely to respond to those. So like I said before at the beginning, Zap is built to manage the consumer. So some of the stuff that we thought was right or cool or, such as, Business Builders, campaigns with the set it and forget it drip campaigns, and they get all these pretty images, but at the end of the day, we want to get responses. I want to get people, I want to ask for referrals. I'm going to be better with that by creating an email that's an actual email body. Make sense?
Yeah, so it's not pre-done for you. It's something you create.
Nope, there's a bunch pre-done, and I'm going to show you that, guys, now. So we're going to bounce out of my mobile app, and we'll go back to the computer screen.
Sorry, I'm kind of going ahead of myself, I guess.
No problem. All right. Guys hear me and see me? My desktop okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I had a little message connection was unstable for a minute, so I want to make sure you guys can hear me. So let's dive into the dashboard here. Let's take a look at the dashboard. And let's start simply by taking a look at a customer. So, adding a customer is pretty simple. New contact, individual contact. You would go through, and just like we did on the phone, you'd put in that info, and you'd move forward. But let's go in and look at an actual contact. So the first thing I did is I actually pulled up a profile under something else real quick. So what I want to show you is I'm going to show you the whole profile in Zap under mine, but I wanted to show you just what a client's profile looks like in here and what it does.
No, go get that.
So this is an example of what the Zap score does. So what the Zap score does is it goes in and tracks everything that your customer does through your website, through their mobile app, everything. So I can see that this customer logged in the mobile app one time this week, once last week, 1, 3, 12. I can see when they save a home, when they log onto my website, when they open emails, how many homes do they view, if they request a showing, if they save the home, whatever they do. It tracks up to 17 different sections in Zap. But then when I scroll down, I actually get the home profile insights as well. So I can see this customer is looking for a home averaging 325, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,800 square feet, single family. Okay. Well, now I see that 37.5 is in Middleborough. 37.5 of their search is in Middleborough. 52.1 in Lakeville. 2.1 in Bridgewater. 4.2 in Taunton. 4.2 in Halifax. So what they've done is I know where they're looking. So when a customer starts out online, their search radius is a lot bigger because they don't know where they want to go yet. They're trying to figure out. So when a customer starts their search online, they could be looking as far south as the Cape and as far north as New Hampshire. They hone in. They do the research. They figure out the school systems. They figure out the prices. They figure out where they want to live. They now come to the agent when they want to start looking or when they have a question outside of the stuff they can research on their own. So this allows you to manage the customer much better because you know their frame of mind they're in. So if someone has a broader search, I could be approaching them with the approach of soft being, I'm here if you need anything. I'm here to help you. Whereas when someone is honed in, very active and ready to buy, now my approach is, hey, this house just came on the market. This is exactly what you're looking for. I'm setting up an appointment for tonight because we got to get in. So it helps adjust your approach. Make sense, guys?
Yep.
All right, cool. So let's go back, and I'm going to dive into a contact. I'm going to keep using my test lead here, Andrew. He's a friend of mine I put on here and told him go on and mess around, do whatever you want. So I look like I actually work with clients in my test account. So when we go into the customer, you'd have log a call. I hit log a call. I could select a call script. They have call scripts in here. I select the number I called. Did you reach Andrew? Yes or no? I put in my call notes. Andrew's on vacation. Andrew's looking for a 2-family, whatever it is. I put in my notes. I hit save. So, like I mentioned, you guys will receive leads through this system. When you receive leads, we have update periods. I think it's 24 hours after the lead's received, 7 days, and then every 21 days. When you have updates due, it'll pop up right here. Updates due. All you need to do is go into the contact. It'll tell you who the updates are due. You'll be able to click on them. And all you need to do.
So, excuse me, I have a question.
Sure.
Regarding those leads, like not the ones that I would be soliciting, but the ones that may come through the company or Century 21.
Correct.
I'm going to get an email or a text. That's how I'm going to know I had it. Or do I have to log into Zap to know I get a
So
lead?
when you receive a lead from the company, it won't auto accept. So you'll actually get a phone call from Lead Router. So you'll actually get a phone call, and that'll be Lead Router, and that's where you'll select it, and you'll accept that lead. Your leads will be automatically assigned to you. So if the lead comes through your website directly, you don't have to accept it. If it comes from us, you'll have to accept it. If you don't accept it, you'll be in the next rotation.
I get you. No, I just want to make sure because I always make sure I answer my calls.
Absolutely. So when you receive leads from the company, you will have to provide updates. All you'll need to do is log a call or send an email. And sending an email, it's like sending an email right from your Gmail or anything. You can add attachments even. So if you have something, you have a PDF, you can add a PDF right in here. It's got everything. And then they also have email scripts. Want to go quick? The leads kind of stink, but you want to keep them looping in?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Here's a bunch of email scripts.
That's awesome.
93 email scripts in there. And that's all you need to do to update the lead. Add a reminder. I come in here, maybe call Andrew. Maybe, one of the things that we work on in Buffini is, once a week you call all your serious active buyers. So I could say call Andrew, and I could say I want to call him every Friday, and I could say repeat every 7 days. Maybe I want to call him every week. Maybe I want to call him every month. Maybe I want to call him every year, whatever it is. That's all I have to do. And that reminder automatically pops up. You go into your dashboard, you'll see it. But what I love is the cell phone app, guys.
Mm-hmm.
More. We're going to come back to this. But I'm going to click off. You'll have sign in as contact. We're going to come back to that and talk about that in a minute. I want to go through this other stuff. Ask for review. Never ask for a review through here because you use Real Satisfied. You guys get Real Satisfied. Way better for the review. Share my mobile link. This will just send the customer an email with your mobile app link. You can resend them the welcome email. You can export their info, reassign the lead. If you get a lead from us and it's not good, mark it as dead or bogus. And if it's your lead, you can remove from the contacts. So now we'll scroll down. I'm going to go through this stuff kind of quick because it's kind of just basic stuff. But I can do contact info. I just hit the little pencil mark to edit it. Quick dates. Shows me their last login, last contact, date added. I see their basic account info. And again, I can just hit the pencil to edit that stuff. Come on. So you would see their Zap info, but now we get down to here. So you would see their homes they recently viewed. So I could view all, and I'll see all the homes that this customer's looked at. Viewed 43 days ago, viewed 44 days ago, viewed 50 days ago, because he's off the site now. So now we scroll down. First, reminders. This is where I could manage my reminders. So if I had a weekly email or a weekly call set up, well, let's say Andrew bought something. Great, I don't have to call him every week now. I just hit delete. Reminder's over. It's off my weekly task list. One thing I will tell you, these actually import into your Google Calendar as well. When you have the mobile app, it'll actually import into your calendar on your screen. If they have a listing, you'd see listing updates. If they have watched homes, you'd see any homes they have watching. New listing alerts. I'm going to come back to this. We're going to spend a little bit more time on this. So your new listing alerts can be set up in here. I'm going to come back to that in just a minute, guys. Follow-up plan.
Rob,
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Your guy that bought a house, you took him off. Is there another place you can put him so you can follow up and keep in touch with him for future business?
Yep. And that would be right here. Perfect transition. Follow-up plan. I hit add follow-up plan. Right here, closed buyer follow-up plan, closed
Yes.
renter follow-up plan, closed seller follow-up plan.
Yep. Yep. Now that's, you know, because you always want to stay in touch with them because sometimes they sell again in 2 years or less.
Exactly. I will tell you, the worst call that I can get is when someone calls an office or they call us and they say, I want to list my home with you guys. I had my home listed with your company 5 years ago. Great. Who'd you work with? Because my first instinct would be, let's hook you up, you know? And then they say, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what my first instinct is I'm going to look in MLS, see who the agent is, and I'm not giving them that lead because they went 6 years without communicating with that person. I don't want that to happen to that customer again. That could be 20 referrals they missed out on because they didn't communicate with the customer.
That's true.
So, you know, there's all automated plans. Get everybody on automated plans. And you can edit these as well, guys, as well. But if I click on automated plan here, so you see here, like Melissa, I think it was you that asked the question earlier about Business Builder and this. So you'll see here, hi, it imports the client's first name. It's an email that they hit reply to and create a conversation with you with. Whereas the emails that come through Business Builder are more just, here's 10 things to check in your home for May. I used to promote that stuff like crazy. Now, this drives more results.
Okay, so quick question.
Yes.
I did all my family and friends recently, and I sent them all the welcome email. Now that welcome email is kind of like the Business Builder where it automatically sends it. Now, I notice here it says in 2 days they're going to get a second email and so on. So it's kind of like a drip too, but it's
right.
Personalized differently.
Exactly. It's drip, but it's personalized. If you go over to manage here and you select email script library, follow-up plan library, you can actually configure these any way you want. You can create your own campaign. You can create your own emails. You can edit the ones that are in there. You can actually fully edit all these follow-up plans right through manage.
Okay, so since I did the welcome email, I guess that's what I wanted. My question was I wanted to get them on some kind of campaign. So that automatically set them up for a few weeks worth of emails from me, right?
If you put them on that welcome, if you just sent them the welcome email like this here.
Yeah.
That's a one-time thing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So what you want to do is you want to go into follow-up plan and add them to a follow-up plan.
Follow-up plan. Okay, so it's called follow-up plan on this website.
Correct. So I'm going to go back into the customer again. So you just scroll down.
I think you missed it.
No, it's just loading up. It's just going slow.
Oh, okay.
Down here. So down under the new listing alerts, it's under there. You'll see follow-up plan, and you'll simply select add a new follow-up plan.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
And I guess one other quick question. I get emails because before I became a real estate agent, I was in touch with a friend that's with Century 21, and I get Zap emails from her instead of the MLS ones. How do you create a search for a customer?
That's what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna take some time with that, so I'm just going through the rest of this stuff, and then I'm gonna go into that. That's right here. So that's what we're gonna go into next. But I want to spend some time, so I want to go through this other stuff real quick, and then we're gonna dive into that. So you'll see business here. Oh, my connection's unstable. Bear with me, guys.
We can't hear you.
I'm back. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now?
It's a little better, yeah.
Okay, sound better?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now you'll see the business here. You'll just see I have, the showings that Andrew requested. I see these. I can view the details. Any listing appointments I set up for him, requests for info that he sent me. If he lists a property with me, I can hit add a listing, and I can just search it. It'll search the MLS, and I can pair that listing with him. So now I track the status of the listing. And I see that, maybe Andrew lists 3 properties with me. He's an investor. So I see all the listings. It keeps a full history of everything that client does with you. Same thing with transaction. When something goes under agreement, you add a transaction, and you track all that stuff through your dashboard. So you track your whole history with that client, and you see what type of business they bring you. So any questions on this stuff, guys, before we dive into the new listing alerts? Nothing. All right, you guys can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about these new listing alerts. So right now, what most agents do in this business is they utilize MLS. Well, if you've ever looked at MLS, let's take a look because I pulled it up here to show you guys. So this is what a customer gets when they click the link from MLS email with their new listings. This is where they land. I've got really good eyesight, and that's tiny. I'm not reading that. I'm not staying on this website. It's got nothing. Why do I want to go here? What they're doing, what every customer does, is they take this, they go to Zillow, they search the address or they search the MLS number, and they go on Zillow and find the listing, or Redfin, or Trulia, or Realtor, or wherever they go. Or they're just going to Google, pasting in the info, and coming to whatever site's going first. I've talked to a lot of buyers that became real estate agents. They all got these emails. Once they saw it once, they never went back. They would just take the address from the agent every day and go somewhere else. So now, with your website, that's different. Because now, when I go to my website, and I'm just going to do a search here, show you guys. But first off, every day when I set this up, they're going to get emails every day with new listing alerts, with you branded. It's nice. It's branded to the new logos. This is going to drive people in. What they'll also get is if they have your mobile app installed, guys, they will actually get a push notification on their cell phone every day. You have one new home to view, and they'll swipe it and it'll open up their mobile app automatically. When they open up and click on a property, this is the page they land on. So instead of landing on this page, they land on this page. What would you guys rather look at? A or B? I don't think there's a comparison. So now what happens is your customers get these daily emails, but now they're staying on your website. They're continuing to search on your website. Make sense, guys? Can you guys still hear me? Someone give me a hello real quick.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So let's show you guys how to set these up. So to set up a new listing alert, once you've created your client, what you would do is you'd select more, and you would then select sign in as contact. What you're going to notice is you now are on your website, but you'll notice at the top, you are signed in as your client. So now what you would do is we're going to do a search, just like a customer. So what I recommend, guys, and we're going to go through this, we're going to hit more filters, and we're going to select create advanced search, and we're going to select city. You can do searches by zip codes, subdivision, school districts, proximity to a radius, MLS numbers, or addresses. We're going to do city. And the reason we're going to click create advanced search is because most buyers are going to look in multiple towns. Phil, reach out to me later, bud, and we'll take a look at that and see what the problem is. So we're going to hit city, and this is going to allow me to search multiple towns. Because if I put it in the top bar here, I can only type one town. If you're doing one town, we'll show you how to do that in a second. You can search it right there. But we're doing the advanced search. So you see I got Medford, Somerville. I can simply come up here and just type. Let's say I want to add Everett. Is Everett. Maybe I want to add Revere. It automatically populates right under here. Makes it nice and easy. So I add all my towns. I could now come down and I could select the price, the lot size, bedrooms, bathrooms, year built, style, everything that you can search in MLS, it's all in here. So I put in all the customers' criteria and I hit search now. So now you see, just like I'm looking at a search. So all I need to do to set up this search for the customer is I click recommend search. You'll notice right here, email Andrew when this search has updates. I make sure that's checked off. I can type in Andrew's condo search, and I can type him a message. Hey, I created a daily search for all the stuff you are looking for. And I hit email this recommendation. They now get those daily updates every day on this search. So let's go through that one more time. I like to run through that twice. So I'm going to sign out and return to Zap. We're in the customer. What we're going to do is we're going to hit more, and we're going to click sign in as contact. We then hit more filters, create advanced search, and we're going to select city. We would then type in our criteria. We can search cities right through here and auto select them. Put in our price. And the nice thing is the price is actually in the area where we can actually type in. We don't have to select from a drop down. All the other info, style, all the other stuff we have down the bottom, and we hit search now. And we hit recommend search. And email this recommendation. And that's all I have to do to set up an auto search. With that being said, questions?
Quick one.
Yes.
If I wanted to create a second search, let's say I'm looking, the client may be interested in 2 family homes.
Yep.
And I have to do like 2 separate searches. Could I do that as well and just recommend them separately?
You can have 100 searches if you want. You can have as many searches as you want going.
Okay, now if I wanted to add something to a previous search, how could I do that? Like edit a search?
So what you would do is you would actually go to my account. So you would sign in as the customer just like we did to create the search.
Right.
But what I would do is I'd go to my account and click save searches.
Okay.
And then from there, I can click on it and edit the search right here.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
I'm just looking at this. It's amazing, but it's going to take me a little time to absorb all of this.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I have to like get my hands on it before I'm going to actually absorb it.
Absolutely.
And tool around with it. But I'm very happy to be on board here.
Awesome. And I'll tell you, you know, one of the things with Zap is I do these webinars typically every week now. You know, so I recommend, I mean, people log in multiple times. I mean, I have people that take it, you know, once a month because there's new updates every month, you know, like today was, you know, that was the first time I saw that they added Instagram and Pinterest, something I've been asking for months because it's huge. So, you know, there's new stuff that's added every single week. So I recommend, even if you get comfortable with it, still log in every couple months and see the new additions and changes because the product constantly evolves.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions, guys, before we move along? We're almost done.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since I'm not a member of the Realtor Board yet, and obviously I can't access the Zap, but
well, you can reach out to Ashley. If you're new, you still have time to join a board.
Okay. And then earlier you mentioned different realtor board you can join, or is there like a specific one?
Reach out to Ashley. She'll get you set up with the appropriate board. She has all the paperwork and everything.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Yeah, Ashley can help you with all of that stuff. It's just shoot her an email and she'll get back to you tomorrow.
And Ashley is amazing. I cannot believe how wonderful she is. She got me hooked up. I'm like amazed. She's awesome.
Yeah, we've got a really good team, guys.
I think she was the one that helped me set up the email.
Yes. Yep.
I was having a hard time. Yeah.
She runs our onboarding team. So she takes care of all the onboarding and things like that. So she's awesome. Definitely reach out to her. She will help you 100%.
Okay, very good.
So just a couple other quick things before we end today's session, guys. You know, pretty much done. Couple other little things down below. For example, if you want to add, you know, sometimes we have a husband and a wife. We can add multiple emails for the new listing alerts. Sometimes you want to see what they're getting. You simply hit this button here. You'll get an email every day with their auto search. So any questions on a contact? Okay. Well, that kind of covers everything we have for the, you know, basic class of Zap. So like I said, we're running these every week. We are going to have an advanced class starting in a few weeks. We'll get that out to you guys right away. But if you guys have any questions at all, listen, guys, I totally understand that when you're going into the system, I fly through it. I've been doing it for 3 years. Going in, take baby steps, guys. But feel free to call me with any questions, any trouble. We can always troubleshoot one-on-one. I can help you. You know, I'm here to help you guys with this system. So the more I can get you guys involved with the Zap program, the more beneficial this will be to your overall growth in the business. So with that being said, one last time, does anyone have any questions?
I'm sorry, one more question.
Yeah.
I thought, well, fast forward with the Zap. Is it the website that you can do electronic applications?
No, that's .loop.
I'm sorry, .loop. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yep, and Ashley can get you set up for that as well.
Oh, okay, all right.
Thank you,
Any
Rob.
other questions?
Thank you very much, Rob. Look forward to
Thank you.
meeting you in the future.
Thanks, Rob.
Awesome. Thank you,
I'll
guys.
see
Call
you
me with whatever you
on
guys
Tuesday.
need. Everybody, have a
Okay.
great night. And I am going
You as well. Thank you.
And I'm
Thank
going to
you.
share this out with everybody tomorrow, so you'll have the recording tomorrow.
Excellent. Have a great evening.
You too, everybody. Take care. Have a good night.